Hello and welcome back. So in this class we're going to learn how we can debug our React Native project. So what is debugging? Debugging is simply the process of finding and fixing errors in our code. So errors can be anything that stops the code from working at a certain point in time, or anything that crashes the app is an error. So I'm going to be sharing a few tips with you that you can use to debug your React Native code. So it could be as a result of dependency error, or as a result of a wrong import, or you export something with a name and you're calling it with another name. So we're going to be looking into that. So the first thing I want to share with you is a command line uh, code that goes through our application to check for unused imports, or where we must have omitted something or maybe committed an error. So how do we do that? We can use the npm run lint in the command line. So this will go into our application and point out where we have errors that we should rectify, else it might stop our app from functioning good. So as you can see here, it says on this project I have a total of 16 problems. That is, I have one error and 15 warnings. Okay, so and it also tells you where to check for the particular error that you're trying to fix. So you see here on add guests, it says that I imported something multiple times. That is on line 8 and on line 23. So let's look at it. This add guest. So if I go into my app in my tabs and I go to add guest, so you see on line 18 I imported something multiple times. So I import use gender here on line 18. So where else did I import use gender? Yes, so you see here, say that imports image. So let's look at it again. It says on line 10, line 11 and line 23 I have checked for duplicates. So on line 10 we have the activity indicator, and on line 23 we have image. So the reason it says that is because image and activity indicator are coming from the same family. So all we have to do is simply import image here. We import image here, then we get rid of this one, because since they are coming from the same family we don't need to import them twice. So let's look into our app again and see what else might be coming from the same family that we are importing twice. All right, so now say on line 140 is expected an assignment or function call, but it says so an expression. So on line 140 so it's referring to the way I passed in this button here, and it's saying that it's expecting an expression. But this still works anyways. So that's basically one of, I'm trying to keep this video under 5 minutes, so I will not really go into debugging all these errors, because debugging is a process taking function. So, but you get the idea. We can use this npm only to check for possible bugs on our code. Also, there's something we call expo doctor. So we call npm expo dash doctor. So this tells us about dependency issues in our application. So this expo doctor helps us to figure out if we have any dependency issues in our application. Okay, I think it's npx expo doctor. So you see that it says running 17 checks on my project. So this will run some checks on my project to see if they have any issues. You see, it says what? 17 out of 17 checks passed. No issues detected. So this shows that there is no issue with my dependency installations. So all I have to do is take time and debug all these errors that I'm getting here. Yes. So, and we also have a import error. So whenever you see something like undefined, it is referring to an import error. Probably you imported something wrongly, or you imported it from a wrong family. So that's mostly like to give you an undefined error type. So perhaps now I import this screw view from React Native, safe area context. Meanwhile, screw view is supposed to come from React Native. That's going to say that screw view is undefined. Yes, and that will lead to what? An import error. So we should always be very careful when we're importing to make sure that we import from the right family. So those are some of the ways that we can debug our projects. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next class.